You know, it was not, nothing was really great. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But it was, nothing was terrible either, which was really sort of like an in between week, which was kind of nice, you know. But I have a great show prepared for you, some thought provoking ideas, um, a little bit of against the medical, what is going to be happening in the medical industry with this new insurance stuff and so on. And then hopefully we get to the depressions and also of what homeopathy can do and what not. So let's get right to it. Let's say hello to Amnon. Amnon, our
Hello.
producer.
How are
So
you?
nice to see you.
Nice seeing you. And let's
Tell the
remind,
folks how
let's,
they can
yeah.
participate.
So
Yeah.
you can call in 919-518-9773, or you can use Skype, computers 2K voice, one word. That's voice only audio. You're not going to be in the picture. And please log into the chat.
Yeah. Just if you want to participate, because the first subject that I want you to participate in, and this is what I was today, I was thinking, well, you know, I had a really, like I said, I had an in between week. Although I was anticipating, we have a friend from Turkey who is coming, who was coming, who came on last Friday. And I was not so sure, was he going to be staying? It's a really, is a friend of the family, but a close friend of my husband. And so I wasn't sure, is he going to stay with us? Is he going to go someplace else? He used to live here in the United States and he moved now to Turkey. Now, he has been my inspiration. I don't know if I had ever mentioned that, but I used to live in Turkey. I lived in Turkey for about 2 years in Adana on the Incirlik Air Force Base with my first husband. And I really like Turkey. I really like Turkey. Turkey is a very beautiful country, very beautiful country. Unfortunately, they also politics will screw up no matter which country it is. Okay, if there's too much politics, if there's too much of everything, and if there's too authoritarian government, and if the government is too loose, then it doesn't work either. I mean, you know what? I don't really know of any country except maybe Bhutan who has it really figured out. I mean, Bhutan is considered to be the most balanced and the happiest country in the world. Why? They have a minister for happiness for the people. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Yeah, well, anyway, so that person came. We had a wonderful dinner. It was a lot of excitement and so on. And at that time, I always am trying to, like 3, 4 days ahead of the show, I'm trying to think of what am I going to be really talking about? What would really be of interest? And it's not always so easy, you know, because you guys are not participating very much. I wish you would tell me more of what you like and what you don't like. But one of the things that I thought of, we had talked about pollution, how it was impacting the world, and so on. And all of a sudden I said, you know what? I wonder how all of this pollution and all these Monsanto grains and modification is impacting homeopathy. Now, my homeopathy that I use for my clinic and for my family and for everybody, I order from India. So India, there is a lot of pollution also, but there may not be as much uh, modification of a, let's take the plant euphrasia. Euphrasia is a small little plant. It's a flower type of thing, and it's good for eye problems. It's good for, yeah, predominantly eye problems. Now, I wonder if pollution impacts that plant. That plant, as I have told you guys before, homeopathy is akin to herbal remedies, but it's not herbal medicine. What homeopathists do is they make an extract, a mother tincture, and that would be used by herbalists, whereby homeopathy takes only one drop of that, dilutes it many times, 99 times really, for the first remedy, one C, and then it's using that, and it dilutes it more and more and more, so that only the essence of the plant is, and the memory of the plant, the healing memory of the plant, is in the remedy. How that exactly works, everybody has a theory. Everybody has it has not been scientifically proven. I guess our instruments are not as finely tuned as our bodies. That it works, we definitely know. We definitely know. I mean, I see it every day. Homeopathists that I talk to, they tell me, I am in chat groups with other homeopathists. I see what they are doing. I get reports of So homeopathy really does work. But how does this pollution really impact the remedies? If you have any thoughts, put them into the chat. Please ask. It's now. Let's have a discussion on that. What do you think your take is there? Are there any homeopaths out there who are listening to me? If you are, please respond. I would like to know what your thoughts are, because I am a little worried that, because when 1852 or 56, I'm sorry, when Hahnemann wrote his Oreganon and he really coined homeopathy, there was not much environmental pollution, and our essences, the raw materials that they made homeopathy from, were really pretty much so intact. I wonder how much intact they would be today. I am a little, I will research that a little bit more, and I will further explore of how that would impact, because the remedy has to have the memory, has to have the knowledge how to fix the problem within us. So what do you think, Amnon? Do you think that could be a possibility, that we would that these pollutions and so on can impact the remedies?
I don't know. I mean, we'll never know unless there's somebody from back then who would say, you know, before before there was so much pollution and modification of plants and stuff, we could take this and do that with it, and it worked with this amount. Today, it's not doing it anymore, and it's probably because. But I don't know that that's the case. I'm not a researcher.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know if that is the case. I just read a study, and let me impart that on you. A study on that in England for chronic cases in homeopathy improved 70%, 70% of patients, chronic cases. That means cases of eczema, asthma, migraine, IBS, menopausal problems, uh, IBD, myalgia, chronic fatigue, cancer, depression, arthritis, all these chronic, many of them are autoimmune diseases.
Mhm.
They have improved 70% with homeopathy. And in this study, there was a 6-year study
So
of
that
our
means
patients.
so that means that pollution and all the quote unquote bad things you're talking about did not affect it.
That did not seem to at
Right.
this point. However, I wonder because homeopathic remedies are made so much long in advance, and one vial can last you for 10 years. You know, it's not, we, in the West, we use way too much homeopathic remedies. We take like a capsule or a helpful capsule, or we take a very large amount of the remedy, and we don't need to do that. One or two of these little grains, and experienced homeopathists know that. They give one or two of these small grains, and it works. Let me finish reading the study here for you because it's very interesting. Uh, the study at Bristol Homeopathic Hospital, over 70% of the patients with chronic diseases, often many years duration, said they improved with the homeopathic treatment. 6,544 patients were involved in the study, and the 70.7% reported positive health changes, with 50.7% recording the improvement as much better or better. Much better or better. Now, they were not able to be cured by regular allopathy remedies. They had been suffering, many of them, for years. This was in England. In Northern Ireland, they did a similar study, little smaller, but there were 713 patients discovered that alternative and complementary therapies offer significant health benefits for patients, plus savings in government health care costs. And there we got the ball game. This country is so up against these high health care costs. And all of you out there who may have insurance or not insurance, please start talking to you when you go to the hospital or when you go to the doctor. I mean, if you're in an emergency, you're not going to ask how much is this going to cost to save me. Okay? I get it. I know. It's not going to happen. But many people go to the doctor because they have insurance, and they go to the doctors and go to the doctors and have an MRI and have a CAT scan and have medicines and have this and have that. It drives all the cost up, and they are not getting better. But they will not go and seek out a homeopath or an alternative health care provider. Why? Well, you tell me. I have an answer. Tell me, why do you think that is? That most people do not seek first in the first when they first get sick. Heard today from a client, her husband. She comes to me. Her husband doesn't, because he doesn't believe that homeopathy or alternative healthcare can work. He has for 2 months now excruciating sciatica pain. And I told her the last time I saw her, I said, have him give me a call. I'll help him. He's done with it in no time. He didn't. Today I saw her again, and she said, well, he's so busy and he's not really believing in that. Well,
it must not be bothering him that much.
There you go. That is the way I feel. If somebody tells me, if I'm in pain and somebody tells me I can help you, I'm not going to even charge for it. Just call me. I will tell you what you can do for it, and that will help you. If they don't do that, I guess it's not that bad. So Northern Ireland had 713 patients that they had in this study. And the therapies involved in the study included acupuncture, chiropractic, osteopathy, homeopathy, reflexology, aromatherapy, massage, and patients who received homeopathic treatment had the greatest improvements. 79% who got homeopathic treatments had improvements, followed closely by acupuncture with 77%. And chiropractic or osteo patients experienced only 56% improvement. Well, that tells you something.
Yeah.
Acupuncture, by the way, works well if it is an electrical impulse or meridian impulse. You know, all of our electrical impulses run along our body in a linear way from top to our toes. And when there is an imbalance in the body, these electrical impulses are broken often. And a acupuncture puts a needle into that acupuncture point, which we have several thousand over our body. They and they establish again the electrical impulse to remove the imbalance. Now that does not happen with everything, and it often does not happen immediately. Homeopathy, on the other hand, fixes the entire body right away, then and there, whatever is wrong. My husband yesterday, when we are building this new chicken Taj Mahal in the back of our property, because I felt my poor little 6 chickens didn't have enough room, since I can't let them roam around anymore. So now we're building this palace out there. And my husband was helping, and he fell and he wrenched his knee. Well, about 11 o'clock at night, I was just about falling asleep. Here he appears and says, honey, I am so much in pain with my knee. Do you have something? So up I go, into my office I go, get the arnica, get the Rudagrav, dissolved it, said, drink this, went to bed, and said, all right, you're on your own. That's it. It either helps or it doesn't. In the morning, when I saw him, I looked at him, and he looked very cheery. I said, oh, are you okay? He said, boy, whatever you gave me, I fell asleep, and I'm like new this morning. So there you go. Okay. He wrenched his knees. It just works like that. So in Northern Ireland, they have found that also. And the patients in Northern Ireland were referred by local doctors, often when conventional treatments have failed, for problems such as, here comes, arthritis, joint, back, and neck pain, fibromyalgia, myalgia, encephalitis, or chronic fatigue syndrome, stress-related problems, anxiety, panic attack, depression, insomnia, anger and aggressiveness, headaches, migraines, shaking, trembling, chest infections, high blood pressure, obesity, and psoriasis. All of these, all of these, our doctors really do not have anything else but some remedies that have terrible side effects.
There's a question.
Yes.
Is there a homeopathic remedy that will help you stay up when you get sleepy? That's from Jeff.
Okay. Well, I don't know it depends of if you're always sleepy because you have chronic fatigue syndrome, then yes, there is a remedy. If you are sleepy because you didn't get enough sleep, there's only one remedy, and that's sleep. You can't, there are some remedies, like for instance, cannabis indica or casinosin. Those remedies seem like they do give you a little bit more energy, but it depends really on why you don't have the energy.
He's saying that he's not always, I guess, sleepy, just almost always.
Oh, he's almost always that he feels tired.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I guess.
Yeah. Well, here is
Yeah, he says yes.
here is the right answer for that, okay? And this is what my show is all about. I will never ever lead you down the primrose path. I will never ever tell you something that I haven't researched and that I haven't looked at and that I do not know if it is the absolute truth. Okay? I would like you to contact a homeopath. If you contact someone else, you very likely have to pay for it. If you contact me, I will consult with you for free. For free. Okay? I will not charge you anything for it. Only when you are better, I want you to come on the show and tell our folks that you have gotten better. That's the only requirement. And here's what you do. You email me all of your symptoms, tiredness, sluggishness. Maybe, let me ask you something. Are you also a little depressed? No, I guess.
He says no.
No, not depressed. Okay. Well, whatever. Email me. Homeopath, the number 4, me at
I'll type it in there.
libe.com. Yes. If you, I will answer you and I will tell you which remedy would be the right remedy for you. We can do this by email. We can do this by phone. Any which way you like. It does not cost you a penny. But I want you then, once you are better and you feel spiffy and great again, I want you to come on the show and say I was helped. Okay. So, great question, though. Great, because a lot of people suffer from that. But it always is the combined symptoms of the entire body. Because you're tired, that means there's probably something else going on in your body. So once we have all of these things together, then I can suggest a remedy to you. Okay? The use, okay, here we go. Another one. Almost 80% of 958 patients having 2 or more appointments in this study experienced a positive outcome. The greatest improvements occurred in anxiety, catarrh, colic, cystitis, depression, eczema, IBS, and PMS. In Switzerland, they had a similar with 3,079 patients, where they also found on average disease severity decreased dramatically and improvements were sustained. In Germany, childhood cancer, I would recommend it to others. I would recommend always to use homeopathy. Switzerland people are completely satisfied with homeopathy. So there you see it all over the world. People are getting the message that homeopathy is definitely an alternative way of helping yourself. As I've said many times before, I would not go and take any kind of chemical remedies or medicines of any kind. I would only, if it can't be done with homeopathy, well, then I will just go, as I must eventually anyway. So, any more questions?
Not at this point.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that question. Now, we're almost out of time, but I want to not be amiss to tell you about depression. Depression is one of the illnesses in our country that is very, very prevalent. I mean, the amount of Zoloft and uh, uh, depression medications and Prozac and that is being sold and being prescribed is really boggles the mind. It seems like anybody and everybody who has a picture of slight difference in oh, doctor, I can't sleep, or doctor, I really don't feel motivated, or I'm tired, or something. You get Zoloft or you get Prozac prescribed, and for everything else, you go to physical therapy. That seems to be the modus right now. I don't know how this country will survive with treatment like this, but they do. Now, why Zoloft is so prevalent? Because it's supposed to be a synthetic serotonin. Now we know, we've talked about serotonins, and I've told you about these feel-good hormones that are released in our body, and then we feel energized, we feel happy, we feel up, and Zoloft is supposed to replace that. But what it also does, it produces high blood pressure, high body temperature, increased heart rate, can lead to shock. It can increase the insomnia and at the same time make you very drowsy. That kind of state is really very, very uncomfortable. I've had it only once in my lifetime, and I must say it was really quite bad to have that happen. You know, on the one hand, you can't sleep, but you're drowsy, and it's sort of like you're in between. You know, you don't know if you're coming or going. Yeah, not a good feeling, not a good feeling. But that is what Zoloft can make. Now, any of there are several homeopathic remedies that speak to depression. I have consulted with people who had PTSD and really had depressions. PTSD can be from a traumatic experience other than just war. Also, we always associate PTSD only with war. It could be with a horrific car accident. It could be from a rape. You know, men and women. I mean, men get raped too, and there can be a really a mental disorder like PTSD, where you can't sleep, you can't really function, you don't really know what it is. Many times it works hand in hand with a lot of anxiety or depression, where you just it's all not worth it. Suicidal thoughts or anger. Suicidal thoughts, uh, you know, mixing into anger and frustration, you know, because these people, they just can't get it together. And it's a sad thing. Many homeopathic remedies work very well for that. Now, many women who are menopausal go through the same kind of thing. Uh, there just comes to that they get also the hot flashes, and you know, not good. I mean, again, homeopathy. Not only black co-wash works, but lachesis muta is a remedy especially for people that suffer with menopausal symptoms, especially for women, not for men. Men can have a menopause type of uh, feeling also, like in their 50s, beginning 60s, sometimes even in their 40s. That's sort of like, my life is halfway over. Haven't really gotten what I wanted. They feel frustrated. They feel angry. They feel sad. They feel empty. They feel, you know, many of the things that women feel when they go through their hormonal changes, because men go through hormonal changes also. Lachesis could be used by a man, but is more of a woman's remedy. Lachesis muta. Often, you know, a few doses of Lachesis 30C, especially if it is combined with jealousy and repressed feelings and dislike and unhappiness. It's an irritable, you know, they're irritable, everything sort of bugs them, Lachesis. Now, for men, often, um, again, Natrum muraticum is also a remedy that works great for depression, and especially for those people that feel easily hurt, that easily feel like, oh my God, nobody likes me. They are hypersensitive. They are resentful. They they want to be left alone. Um, Sort of like Princess on the Pea type of guy, or girl. Natrum Moraticum is very helpful then. Not so much that they find they want to do away with themselves, but they're almost there. They're almost yeah, I don't really want to live, but I would know, or I couldn't really do away with myself. That kind of thinking. Natrum Radicum. There's one remedy that I find is really great when it's fluctuating with hormonal, especially also for children, younger teenagers. They often go through that, where the hormonal changes are so huge, they come into their own, and they have these feelings of inadequacy. I will never finish school. I don't know what I want. My parents are not approving of me, this kind of thing. If you give a teenager like that some pulsatilla, they will feel a lot better. You know, especially if it's a girl, they desire a lot of comfort and attention.
Gisela,
Yeah.
another question here. Do homeopathic remedies have expiration dates?
No, they don't. I would suggest, so, not to keep them in a warm place. You don't have to put them into a refrigerator. I would keep them in a cool, dark place. You can keep them for a lifetime, because they are all suspended in sugar globules. And sugar is a natural preservative. Unfortunately, also a poison. But this is milk sugar for the most part. And it really does not go bad. Good question. Great question. All right. Well, my go-to remedy for people that are depressed because of grief or loss. I lost my job. I can't get it together. I mean, I'm just, I lost my pet. I don't want to, I miss the pet so much. I don't want to live without it. I lost the parent, the child. Sometimes even losing possessions and money can cause that. Betrayal, my best friend talked behind my back, and I'm distraught, and I'm so devastated by it that I can't think straight.
You don't have to go to such extreme. I mean, just look at like what, 5-6 months ago.
Yeah.
Loss of election.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And people were really depressed to the point where it was,
oh my God, yes,
ridiculous. Yeah.
Great point, Amnon. Great point. Yes, it was. And many people still suffer. I mean, I belong here to a Democratic club.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I mean, every time I go there are a couple of women there that always just sort of like they generate around me, and it's like, oh my God, I can't look at this man. I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, what I did after the second meeting, I brought with me a vial of Ignatia Amara,
Uh-huh.
Ignatia Amara.
Yep.
And I and I just told him, I said, go get yourself a bottle of water. I put one little pill you in there, said, shake that, sip that sucker, you'll feel better in no time. And lo and behold, they did. They did. And I did, because I was pretty bummed out over that
Yeah, I
too.
mean, to be bummed out is fine, but I mean, there
Yeah.
were people that, I mean, come on. What?
Yeah. Yeah. And then my best girlfriend telling me, why don't you go back to Germany? Because
Yeah.
I didn't agree with her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah,
Yeah.
people do need those
Ignatia Amara.
yep.
That's the one for
Because
that.
if you go to the doctor and tell him, look, I'm bummed over the loss of election, I want something, they would say, get out of here.
No, they don't.
What?
What they do is they do give you Zoloft. They give you Prozac. They give you, they write these prescriptions. Amnon, I hear it all the time. I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know, because like I said, I don't go to the doctor. But I hear it from clients. They tell me all the time, oh, I went to the doctor, he gave me this and that, and now I feel really bad, and now I have this, and now I have that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? Even why? You are one of the privileged few who know me, and I am always, if you can't pay, that's all right. I don't care. I don't really mind. It's, as a homeopath, you have to resign yourself to say, I am in this for the good of all. If you can pay me something, great. If you pay me, many of my clients do pay, most of them, by the way. But if they can't pay, that's all right too. I am not. I treat it like a donation.
It's not going to make you.
yourself.
It's not going to make you or break you.
No, because I do skincare and my remedies that I live off.
Yeah.
But homeopathy is a vocation. It's not a business.
Yeah.
This is not a business. Okay, so Ignatia Amara, if you still feel bad about Trump's election, if you're euphoric about it, well, then you don't need anything.
All right.
Well, there are a few more
next time
remedies for depression, but unfortunately we are out of time. Otherwise, I'm going to get slapped on my mouth again, because I had diarrhea of the mouth and I can't. But as you can tell, guys, I'm passionate about it. I love it. I do know, and I am not the only one in the world that knows that homeopathy works. If you have sciatica, if you have headaches, that does not mean that you shouldn't go to the doctor and have something tested. I do not believe that you should ignore the medical society.
Right.
However, first you try homeopathy. If that does not work, I will, or any homeopath that is worth their profession should tell you, hey, listen, that does not mean that you shouldn't go and get tested. And if you do have cancer, or if you do have something that could really impact your lifespan, then you can have homeopathy going alongside allopathy. You heal much quicker and much better. The outcome of your illness, whatever it may be, will be much better. Well, with that said, I have so much more to tell you, but we have to wait till my next show. And I wish you a wonderful week. Next week, next Monday, there will be no show. But the following Monday, we will have a show, hopefully, all about goat's milk products. I'm excited about it, and I hope that I will all see you here then again. Prepare your questions and please do participate. It was wonderful for your questions today. Thank you so much and have a great week. Bye bye.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.